Yes, so welcome back to the reading practice session and good evening, all of you. So, yesterday you were asking me about the discussion of the new pattern of the exam, and I hope all of you have watched the video that Varun sir posted about that. So, he appeared in the exam and he has in detail explained the experience, the number of questions, the time management. So, I request all of you, those who haven't, please find that video on our Facebook page. That will be helpful. All your questions and doubts about the new pattern, what has changed, the time management, what will remain the same, do we have to be more careful about certain things, everything is discussed in detail. And rather, it's not just those who have doubts. I would recommend all of you to watch that, because if something is changing before going to the test, you should have an idea of what you should expect, how you should approach the questions. And yes, it will make you a bit prepared about the exam. All the strategies are still working. The new old ones, whatever we have, everything is working, so you need not worry about, there were myths about the PT exam has gone difficult now, the templates won't work now, so there were lots of things going on. But it's everything is working, all the strategies are fine, so don't worry about that. You actually need not change any strategy. It's just about time management. It's just about making yourself aware of what new things you can expect. So for that, please go through that video if you haven't till now. All right, coming back to our practice. So here is the question number 1 that you have to do for reading writing blanks, and you have 2.5 minutes. I request all of you to please put your answers. I should see what you are thinking, what you are doing. That gives me an idea to explain better, to talk about things more, and gives me an idea on where you particularly are going wrong, and maybe we can suggest something for that. So please post your answers in the chat box once you solve this. All right, should be done. Post your answers, please, those who haven't. I can see some really good answers. So there are sometimes questions in which your answers are based on the matching words which are given in the sentence. So this is one of them, an easy question in which your answers are simply based on what is the other um combination words given. For example, if you look at the options, when do we use from? Generally we use from when we have to given, from this to this. And if the first sentence would have said that it took the Europeans and their new technologies just one generation to make their homeland from a desert to a something else, then we would have gone with from. But since we don't have to, so we cannot go with from, because that will be incomplete. That we said they converted their, or they made their homeland from a desert. So what did they make into? What did it end at? So that's not given, so we cannot use from because of that. So the answer for the first one was all of you, most of you were correct by selecting into. So it took the Europeans and their new technology just one generation to make their homeland into a desert. Make here would is doing the work like convert their homeland into a desert. What else do we have? By is either used with time period or it's used with like with time period we say please complete this assignment by evening or by this date. That is how we use the word by. Or what is the other use of by? So that's it. There's one more use which will explain the next blank because we have an example with that. And they make their homeland with a desert. So it doesn't make sense. The Europeans are making their homeland with a desert. With is used when you're mentioning the resource. Like I've completed this assignment with her help. So her or his help is the resource by using which you have made your assignment. So that is how we use with. The Sauk Indians who knew how to sustain themselves on the prairie land were banished to another kind of desert called a reservation. And they even forgot dash the techniques and tools that had sustained them on the prairie for generations unrecorded. So again, a matching. When we use the word forgot or forget, what is the next word we generally use with forget or forgot? How did you forget about my birthday? So generally with forget or forgot, we use the word about, and yes, we do have that as the option. So we'll go with they forgot about the techniques and tools. We cannot say they forgot of the tools or forgot if because there's no condition, and where because they are not talking about place. WHERE, where is where the tools are kept. Then it could have been where. And this is how it was that three deserts dash Wisconsin, the reservation, and the memories of a people. So what is the context going on? Because the options that we have are based on tenses. Have is present tense, would is future tense, are is present tense again, and were is past tense. So sorry. If we look at the options, they said it took, the Indians knew, the whole of the story was of a past scenario. So we will also go with this is how the three deserts were created. A century later, the land of the Sox is now populated. This also makes sense. A century later, something happened means this thing happened in the past. Otherwise, the story that they were explaining was going in the past. So we should go with were recorded. The land is now populated dash the children of a second wave of European farmers. The land is now populated through the children. Through is used when you mention the means or the process of doing something. Then you say through. When you talk about the ways of doing, then we can say through this way. Children is not a way. Dash the children. In the children, not possible. Along is side by side. Like you say, please do your homework along with watching television. So side by side, I go to walk along a river. So side by side, that is along. So you cannot say the land is populated side by side the children. So we'll say by. If we would have got with, we could have gone with as well. The land is populated with children, means they live there. But here we have by as the only option. By the children of a second wave of European farmers who learned to replenish the soil, dash the regenerative powers of dairying, ground cover crops, and animal manures. So these are the methods. And when we talk about means, methods, or ways, then we use the word through. Through means by using these things. So replenish the soil through these methods. Right? And very good attempt. I'll go through it once again. So they have converted their homeland into desert. They have used the word make here. From cannot come because we don't have to. Forgot comes with about, forget or forgot, we forget about things. Three deserts, the stories of the past. So it will be deserts were created. The land is populated by these people. We generally also say that this country is populated by Indian people. This area is populated by English people. So use the word by in this case. And the last one, because we have methods, whenever you have methods or ways, we use the word through these things. Right? Any problem, anyone? Please do ask. All good with this? All right. This is your next question. On the screen, you have 2.5 minutes. Please time yourself. I generally give more time because it's about some students, they keep joining in between. So just looking at that, I sometimes give extra time, but you should always time yourself that you are not taking more than 2.5 minutes for completing your question. Okay, and then post your answers. This is one type of question in which it's very important to tell yourself when you are solving that this is too much based on context. Context in a sense like you have to understand that the answers you're selecting should not be general answers. They should be related to art, contemporary art. You are in a specific field. See, sometimes the blanks are the language in the blanks is a general language. So they talk about earlier this was not the case. Now the scientists have started doing this experiment. That's a normal language, general language. But sometimes the language has to be according to a particular field, like art here is the field, and sometimes it's about like too much astronomical things, and then you have language according to that. So for example, in the first one, some of you I can see have written before. What is the general use of before? Before is used with time. Before Monday complete your assignment, before 5 p.m come home, um, I completed the test before time. So before is talking about time. That is how we use the word before or after. Before something or after something. The first sentence said that contemporary art means art of the moment, but defining it before that. What is that here? Art of the moment. Can there be any before the art of the moment? Before contemporary? So contemporary is a time period. So if you want to say that contemporary art means art of the moment, but defining it dash that. Contemporary art is a term. You're not talking about contemporary time period. It's a term, a form of art. So that's they are limiting it to one form of art. Contemporary art means art of the moment, but defining it before that, we are not talking about time period, but we'll be defining it beyond that, means out of that one concept also there is art. Out of art of the moment, there's also certain other things about that we need to know about contemporary art. So beyond is going out of that one field or going out of that one. So it will be contemporary art means art of the moment, but defining it beyond this definition, beyond this art of the moment definition, and its open-ended date range is challenging, as the very dash of defining art became a personal quest in the hands of each artist. The sentence is long, so I would advise you to read it in parts. Like they first said that defining art is challenging. That was the only important thing in the first part. Then, as the very dash of defining art became personal in the hands of each artist, as the very impression of defining art. Do we define impressions of art? Very idea of defining art. My idea of art, your idea of art. Idea is something like, um, I've got an idea, let's try this thing. It's a very general thing to say. Notion is a concept about art. Understanding, the very understanding of defining art. Understanding of art makes sense. Understanding of defining art doesn't make sense. So it will be notion. Notion means the concept of defining art. Like, what is my concept of art? How I define art? So they said that it became very personal, with each artist had a different concept about art, not just an idea, because idea is used when something is imaginative. So something that does not really exist is an idea, but concept and notion is something which is real. Like you have your painting and you have a concept behind that painting. It's not just an idea, you have portrayed it through. So which resulted in dash possibility. So every artist has a different concept about art. So this has resulted in dash possibilities. Broadening means broadening is like adding more to something. That is broadening. Then they say ever expanding. Ever expanding means continuously expanding, continuously becoming larger and larger. That is ever expanding, not just expanding, ever expanding. Which has resulted in continuous possibilities, or which has resulted in enlarged possibilities. So enlarge will go with the size. Enlarge this picture, that's make it big. So this will be ever expanding, because this is a fact that we are saying that definition of art is personal to every artist, and this has been changing. So ever expanding means with time, everybody gives a new concept. Every artist has its own concept. So it's ever expanding, continuously becoming larger and larger, right? A key distinction between modern and contemporary art was a shift in dash away from beauty to the underlying concept of work. So the difference between modern and contemporary art was shift in what shift away from beauty to concept. So let's say you are making a painting. Earlier, people used to see how beautiful it is. Nowadays, people don't see the beauty. They see what concept they have portrayed through it. This is the difference between modern and contemporary art. So what will we say this? This is a shift in focus, shift in center, shift in target, or shift in goal. Painting and portraying, there's no target or goal. Target is what do you want to achieve with it. So if I am painting, let's say modern or contemporary, my aim and goal would be same, that it should be liked by people or I should become popular with that. The aim or goal or target won't change. Center has nothing to do with shifting away, but focus. So earlier my focus used to be that I have to paint beautiful things. Now my focus has changed to I should make something which conveys a meaning. So conceptual things should be there. So a shift in focus has happened from beauty to concept. The end result of a work of contemporary art became less important. So what is finalized is less important than the process dash the artist arrived there. There means the end result. So the end result became less important than the process by which the artist reached at the end result. So the process means like what was his idea? What did he want to show? So that's the process through which he has gone through, and what is the final painting will be the end result. So end result is not important, rather the process used, the process by which that end result is achieved is important nowadays, right? So if we look at the other options, they say the end result of the art became less important than the process on that, the artist, completely wrong English, than the process through whom. So whom cannot be used with process. Whom will be used for human beings and living beings. And whenever is used with time. So whenever I go to the academy, I practice a lot. So whenever is used with time. We don't have any time thing here, right? So going to it once again, somebody has asked why not father? Father is second form of verb. It will only come with than. Father than. So we were not in second form. We were not comparing anything. This comes in comparison. Okay, behind obviously is a thing of place. What do you have behind me or behind you? That's place. That has nothing to do with art. So notion and concept, the difference between notion and concept is something which is fixed. Like if I say the concept of retirement, my concept of retirement and your concept of retirement will be same. Everybody understands retirement in the same way, but the concept of my painting and your painting will not be same. That is notion, right? So I hope that makes sense now. Third one is ever expanding. See, like earlier there used to be 10 artists, they have their own different concepts. Then came 10 more artists, they have different concepts. 10 more artists, they have their own concepts. This is ever expanding, like expanding with time, becoming bigger and bigger with time. That is ever expanding. Anybody else? Any confusion in this question? Was a good question, I would say. After a long time, a good question. Anybody else? Any doubts? Broadening would be, as I said, broadening can have a meaning of wider also. Something becoming wider in sense. Or I just wrote some more things. It was about, if you want to say that, something is extending, that's also broadening. Extending or becoming wider is also broadening. So it can be used in in a way where we actually talk about width of something, or something become like broadening is more used, broadening the horizons of people. So that is the way we use the word broadening. This is not becoming, like, we cannot say the definitions were earlier narrower, that we can say broadening, because it's that sense we use narrow and broad. It's just that it's becoming more and more, more things are getting included into it. So then we cannot say that now it's becoming better than the narrow perspective. So we use broaden in that sense. Yeah, endless would be like we say, like there are about future. When you endless is used when you talk about future, that there are endless opportunities. Here, ever expanding is referring to the past, that it has been expanding throughout the time periods. That is why it is ever expanding. So the perspective of writing that word is not future, it's past. That's why it will be ever expanding. Right? Oh, okay. All right, let's move ahead. Question number 3 on your screens, 2.5 minutes. And put your answers. Go for more academic options if there are same meaning words. Okay, let's look at the answers. People are becoming dash in actions related to prison gang business. People are getting concerned goes with about. People are becoming occupied in actions. Occupied is getting busy in things. But here the language is negative. So it's not just they're getting busy in this, people are becoming implicated, people are getting involved in. Involved makes sense. Involved means their participation in gang related business. The actions means participating they are. So they're getting involved in actions relating to prison gang business. As a result, it is no longer just a corrections problem, it is also a community problem. It is a misnomer that when you lock a gang member up, they dash criminal activity. So with they is plural, we need a verb without s. And they control activity, cease, finish, or stop. Finish is something like you have started and you finish. Stop and cease are synonyms. What is better? What is more academic? Cease is more academic than stop. So if one person of a gang member is arrested, they just cease to stop to do criminal activities for that period of time. Law enforcement has realized that what dash inside can affect what happens on the outside. So they have given us a hint that what happens is what they're trying to say. And we do have an option happen, so we should also go with that. What happens inside affects what happens outside, and vice versa. It has only been in the last 6 years the gang leaders dashed through letters as per gang investigators. So the leaders of the gang, they discuss through, communicate, speak, converse. So speak or converse is like one-to-one talking with each other. Discuss is discussing an issue or a problem, but somebody's in the jail and rest of the gang is outside, so they will better to use the word communicate, that what is their means, what is their ways through which they communicate through letters. Where mail is dash, mail means again letter thing, where mail is dash, they may be carefree by using code, for example by making every 13th word of a seemingly benign letter significant. So where mail is under check, obviously, so they generally use letters, but if in that particular prison there is somebody who checks the sorry, the letters through on regular basis. So where mail is watched, now watching is like physically watching something, I'm watching you, in that sense, very general word. Examining is investigating. Monitored is like you have cameras monitor the movement. So monitor is something is there who's keeping a watch on you. And supervised, there's more goes with like we say, there's an invigilator who will be supervising you. Somebody will be there to throughout a duration of time when you will be performing something. So that person will be supervising that you're doing it right way or wrong way. That is supervision. So it will be monitored means under check. If the mail is under check, then they use other options that they have. Okay. Stop is also fine. If the word cease would not have been there, we would have gone with stop. But because cease and stop mean the same and cease is more academic, we should go with that. Converse and speak, as I said, is one-to-one talking. So if somebody is in the jail and their gang is outside, they won't converse with that member. They will communicate, because converse would be like one-to-one talk. They won't have one-to-one talk through letter. Then what is the purpose of letter? Right? Monitor is under check. Something is under check. That is monitored. Examine is investigate. Like, for example, if I complained to the department that this person is sending letters, they will investigate the matter. That will be examination. Generally, they have a rule that all the letters that will come, we'll just go through, that there's no suspicious activity. That is monitoring, not investigating. No, Tejal, it will be monitored, because examine will be investigate. Investigation is only when you have something as a hint or a proof or a complaint and you go deep into that matter. That is investigation. So where they are not talking about one particular letter here, they say where mail is so monitored, where they generally have a policy to keep the mail under check. They don't investigate each and every one. We are not stopping Aishu. They themselves, the group members, the same gang stops the activity because their person is arrested. The ones who do it, they can definitely stop it, no? So in that sense, it was seized there. So Milan, okay guys, they are talking about, they means the members of the same group. They were only talking about one gang's perspective. They are not saying that one criminal is arrested and all of the criminals stop. No, their gang members stop. Okay. Still any doubts, anyone? So again, don't go with the overall context that they're talking about crime. So even if one person is arrested, crime won't stop. That's general thing about crime. You have to go with what is the context talking about. They're talking about one gang's problem, one gang's way of communication, how one gang operates. This is the context, not general crime is the context. All good now? Milan, Raksha, is it fine? Yes, there's no such rule that you can use a word only once in a sentence. No, especially when it is verbs, yes, it can be repeated. Like happens can come two times, occurs can come two times. There's no problem in that. Okay. So we are doing more on reading blanks today because we did not do them yesterday. So here is your first question on reading blanks. And you have 2.5 minutes for this. Please post your answers once you solve. What is the difference between famous and popular? Anybody? We are talking about pastels. That means colors. We are talking about pastel colors. Famous is used with proper nouns. Famous is for a person. Very good. So famous is like widely known. And popular is something in trend, something in where trend would be the right word. So here it won't be famous. Before pastels were dash. Pastels were popular, not famous. For babies, most parents dressed their kids in white dresses, dash they were about 6. So this is time period. So we'll go with until they were about 6. Until means till the age of 6. Historian Joe B says this outfit was practical. White cotton dash be easily bleached. Could be or would be. What have we written? So yesterday we discussed about the use of could. It's when we are talking about possibility is when we use the word could. So here they are talking about possibility only, that it was possible to bleach white cotton. So it will be white cotton could be bleached, because they are talking about facts, not would. Would is tense, that we could, it might be possible. Something in the past that we would have done. That is how we use the word would. So it will be, we are not talking about any future tense, future thing to be done in the past. We were talking about possibility, that it is possible to bleach white cotton. And dress is allowed convenient access for diaper changing. Then pastel colors became a dash for babies. So with a, it should be a noun. Do we have any noun? You have array, but array cannot come with a. We don't have any other noun. We have collection. Pastel colors became a collection. Pastel colors, so they say then. Earlier it was white color, then pastel colors became a fad. Fad means trend for babies. These pastels weren't marketed to a certain sex. Both boys and girls were dressed in a wide dash of pastels. So how do we use the word wide variety of things? This is a collocation, wide variety of. And what is a better word for variety? Whenever you have array, you go with array always above variety, because that's the same way of saying variety in a better language. So it will be boys and girls were dressed in a wide array of pastels. Array means wide variety, means they have like some pastels in pink, some pastels in peach, some pastels in blue. A lot of variety of pastel colors was available. Collection cannot be variety. Collection is like stock. We are not saying that they were dressed in a wide stock of pastels. No, wide variety means there were so many colors available for them, because the example they have given is about colors including blue and pink, so that's not a collection. This is the same difference, Aishu. So popular is well known, and sorry, famous is well known, renowned, and popular is something which is in trend at the moment, that is popular, which may or may not remain popular. Some the next day the other thing can become popular, but a person who is well known will be reputed always. Fad is fashion, trend. Mahir, are we using the word popular for babies here, or we are using it for pastel colors? We are using it for pastel colors were popular. We're not saying anything about babies were popular or famous. No. We are saying colors were popular, means in trend. Okay, all good with this one, all of you? Okay. Question number 2, and you have 2.5 minutes. Please be time cautious and look and have a time watch, have a watch on your time. With time, over time. One confusion that I can see. Raghu, however, is used when you go contrast to what you were already saying. So when you go opposite to from positive to negative or from negative to positive, then you use however. Okay, let me tell you the meaning of over time and with time, and then you can think what will be the answer. With time is written when you want to say as time passes. Like she will recover with time. She will recover as the time passes. Over time is gradually, slowly, steadily. The very deep meaning would be the same, but the way we can use it or the context we can use it is definitely different. So you think what will come here? As time passes or gradually? And let's discuss. Resumes and CVs also differ in that the former usually is dashed to the specific job of interest. So with is what we use is third form of verb V3. So former means resume is dashed to the specific job of interest. What do we have with ed is only one option, tailored. So we'll go with that. No other option is there. Is tailored to the specific job of interest. A resume generally features only the experience and skills that dash to the job description. Now, if you don't know this, you can always eliminate the ly options because they never play a role in selecting your answer. So whether they are before the blank or after the blank, eliminate. So they resume generally features only the experience and skills that dash to the job description. So experience and skills, plural. So we need a verb without s, and that verb that goes with to. So it will be they relate to. Skills that relate to the job description. A CV may be tailored to a minor extent, such as by highlighting specific dash relevant to the job. So what is something that can be relevant to the job that we can highlight in the resume? What are our skills? We generally talk about skills which are relevant to the job, but otherwise requires little editing or fine tuning from one job application to next. CVs simply grow dash time as new publications, skills, and achievements are added to the document. So CVs simply grow as time passes, or CVs simply grow gradually as new skills are added. So it will be over time, not with time. Means gradually, when new skills are added, it keeps on improving, keeps on growing. It's nothing like as time passes, because let's say you from 2 years you're not working anywhere, so time is still passing. It's that way that we use as time passes, because no matter what, time will pass and that thing will happen with time passing. So we don't want to say that your skills will improve with or your resume will grow with time. No, it will grow gradually when you will add skills, achievements, and publications to the document, right? Dash CVs generally are favored in academia and are used almost exclusively when applying for almost any job in a country. So here we were talking about CVs, general thing. Also, we are talking about CVs in general, nothing positive or negative. So we should go with in addition. One more fact about CVs. We are not going from positive to negative or negative to positive. So we should go in a one more point about CVs. So we'll go with in addition. Right? So what do you write in your resume for us? Do you write your requirements which are relevant to the job? When you make your resume, do we write requirements in the resume? We don't have requirements. When you're applying for the job, the company will have the requirements. We have the skills or our academics or our experience that we highlight. Addition can be used without to also, Tejal, especially when you have comma in addition, then you don't use to. In addition to is used when you don't have a comma and you write in continuation. In addition to the skills, I also have this and that. That is how we use in addition to. Do we use first form of verb with is, Mahir? Do we use first form of verb with helping verbs? Is, am, are, was, were, has, have. Do they come with first forms? So Nas, tailor means customized, like you can adjust it. That is tailored, specifically made for a purpose is tailor made. Okay, I didn't do the sixth one, sorry. Where is the sentence started? No. So it's not in addition. You can actually write in addition without to, especially when you have a comma. In addition to, as I said, comes when you are not using the comma. You continue the sentence in addition to so and so thing. Right? Next one, in many cases, companies, schools, or other institutions that are recruiting new employees are clear about which type of document they prefer, eliminating much of the guesswork for dash. So what have we written here? Much of the guesswork for, obviously, applicants. We won't talk about generally about people, not all the people. We'll only eliminate guesswork for applicants. Right? So if a company has to hire someone or a school has to hire someone, so they generally know whether they need resume or CVs. They don't want people to guess that they want this or that. They specifically highlight that forward your resume, or they say forward your CV. Second one is relate to. Your skills relate to job description. Skills is plural. We need a verb without S, and I don't think we have any other verb without S. So there was no problem. So skills relating to the job. What is opposite, Tashrif, in these two sentences? The first sentence is talking one thing about CVs, that CVs grow when you add new skills to it, new achievements. And then one more point, completely different point about CVs, that CVs are favored in academia and used for when you're applying for almost any job in a country. There's not even any link between the two sentences. ED after LY. Where is it, Johnson? Which blank? Sorry. Second one. ED after LY, it's before. And see, the second sentence is a fact. It's not tense-based sentence. They say a resume generally features the skills that relate to job description. That can never be ED. Not in this, because it's a fact. Facts are just present tense. What does the resume show will always be in present tense. A resume features these things. Okay. This is what I just said, Ritu. The second sentence is a fact. Facts are always in present tenses. Facts are not tense-based things. The sun rises in the east, it will always remain this. We won't say the sun rose in the east. So resume generally shows these things, it will always remain the same. It's not like today it's showing skills, tomorrow it will show something else. So facts are in present tenses. Okay. So here is your question number 3. And you have 2.5 minutes. Good, very good. Restricted? You're saying restricted areas. How do you know? Okay. Let's see, modern roads can be dashed by type or function. So with B, it should be third form of verb. And let's see, we have classified, we have restricted. So roads can be dashed on two bases. So we won't say restricted on two bases. We'll say they are classified on two bases. The basic type is the conventional undivided two-way road. Dash, this are divided roads. So fortunately, we had only one option with capital. So beyond this, maybe a mistake, but anyhow, beyond this are divided roads, expressways, and freeways. An access controlled road with direct user charges is known as a tollway. In the UK, freeways and expressways are referred to as motorways. Functional road types are local streets, which dash only adjacent properties. So local streets is plural. That means we need a verb with S, without S. Streets which dash only adjacent properties. So streets which without S verb is serve, only one that we have. Streets which serve only adjacent properties and do not carry through traffic. Then there are collector, distributor, and feeder roads, which carry only through traffic from their own area. Next is arterial roads, which carry through traffic from dash areas. So from what kind of areas? One, so some of you have written restricted, but how can we carry traffic from the areas which are restricted? It's too much overthinking, I think. Like too many reasons we have to give to ourselves to select that. It's better to say adjacent means the next two areas, the neighboring areas. So adjacent areas and then are the major roads within a region or population center. And last ones are highways, which are the major roads dash regions or population centers. So regions and population centers will be two things. So we can say between regions, between the region there is a road, and between population centers. Adjacent means neighboring. Yes, Johnson. So if your noun is plural, the verb will always be without S. If your noun is singular, then the verb will be with S. Between has to be used for two things. So between can be used with between is used between two with two things. When we are talking about like distribution kind of thing, here they are just using it in a connection way, that there is a road between regions. So between regions doesn't mean that one road with so many regions. They are just wanting to say that there are roads which like connect one region with the other. There's another road which connects one region with the other. So basically there will be a talking about roads which connect two areas in that sense. Alongside won't make sense. Alongside is like side at the same time. That's alongside. Can you work alongside your study? What does that mean? Studying alongside working means at the same time. So yes, we it's not about Tejal, that region with population center. No, a road between regions that connects one region with another, and a road between population centers which connects one population center with the other. In that sense, they have used here between. So Unisha, noun and verb means if your noun is plural, that means like here we had local streets. Streets is plural. So the verb that we use will always be without S. So that's why we used serve here. If this would have been street without S, then we will use serves here with S. This is a general rule which is used in the exam, like three or four blanks do come on this rule. It's not very simple sometimes, like not written very near. Sometimes the noun is here and then they have a lot of information and then they give the blank for a verb, but still the rule applies is same, that additional information is just to confuse you, just the waste words given to us, they are not important. The rule that applies is still the same, that the noun you have to find, my noun is plural no matter where it is in the sentence. If you are looking for a verb, it will be based on the same noun. Grammar videos, to learn these, go to grammar videos, these rules are there. No, Johnson. So V1, V2 or V3 is dependent on what is the information, which tense they are. This one, yes, this one would be present tense, because these are facts. These are kind of information that which roads serve which area. So these are not tense based things. Okay. All right, question number 4, and you have 2.5 minutes. We need to understand the use of within. So those who haven't watched the grammar videos, please do watch them. There are prepositions discussed in there, which give you the exact meaning of the prepositions. So within is used when your way of writing is you want to say that not more than. That is the use of within. You have to complete this within 2 hours, means before that time finishes. Or when you want to say you have to live within this area, you want to say you cannot go out of this area. That is the use of within. So a negative thing said in a positive way is within. Limit, when you put a limit on something. So here it says the Milky Way is a barred spiral galaxy which forms part of the local group, although the Milky Way is one of dash of galaxies. So all of you are right in saying one of billions of galaxies that we have in the universe. The galaxy has special dash to humanity. So it has special dash to humanity. What does it have special for us? So noun is what we need. Consequence is negative. Result is what is consequence, and especially when it is negative result, we use the word consequence. But this has special significance to humanity as it is the home of the solar system. The term Milky originates from the hazy band of white light appearing dash the celestial sphere visible from Earth, which comprises of stars and other material. So do you want to say within here? The white light appearing within the celestial sphere. And when you see from the Earth, do you see the boundary that you want to say it is only within this sphere that I can see? No, this was across, not within. So across means in every part of a particular place. The meaning of across is from one side to the other. One meaning of across is in every part of a particular area or a place. So here it is, the white light appearing in every part of the sphere visible from Earth. So every part of the Earth you see stars from everywhere. So which comprises stars and other material lying dash the galactic plane. This was lying within the plane because it is inside of that plane, not outside of the galactic plane we have any light. The light is only within the plane. The galaxy appears brightest in the direction of Sagittarius towards the galactic center. Relative to the celestial equator, the Milky Way passes as far north as the constellation, and indicating the high inclination of Earth's equatorial plane and the plane of the ecliptic relative to the dash plane. Relative to the galactic plane, because that is the topic going on. Yeah, should be. They talked about it. Right? So across and within, I hope it's you have noted it. That's good for us. So please note it down, because sometimes even it happens with me, like when I solve blanks with you, there's sometimes some words which are new. Obviously there cannot be all the words in the universe that anybody can know. So there are new words and I just Google it and I say, okay, I will remember, and after 3 days I see the same word. I'm like, okay, what was it? It's not possible. Please write the things down, because fortunately I don't have to give exam, but you have to give exam. So even if I forget, it will work, but if you forget and you see that in the exam, it won't work. That's okay, Onisha, no problem. Please note down the things, whatever is new, please note it down. Is it all good for this particular question? Anyone having any other confusion? All right, question number 5 then. 2.5 minutes for this also. Who is this? Sadia and Rampreet. What are we discussing from a long time? So that is why I'm saying please write down the things that you don't know and keep those notes in front of you when you are solving the blanks. So in the first one, they say marketing research is the function that dash. So function is singular. A verb that we need should come with S, not without S verb. It will be grammatically wrong. So market research is the function that links, not connect, only because we don't have S with connect. You don't need to find out whether links or connects, what is more suitable. No, just grammar. Function that links the consumer, customer, and public to the marketer through information. Information used to identify and define marketing dash and problems. So we had marketing implications and marketing opportunities. Both were fine. So I left it at this place because I could not understand. Otherwise, the answer is opportunities, because when we completed the paragraph, we need implications in the last one because their opportunities cannot fit. So here it was define marketing opportunities and problems, generate, refine, and evaluate marketing actions, dash marketing performance. So what are they using here? What form of verb they use? They said identify first form, define first form. So we also need first form of verb. Check marketing performance or monitor marketing performance. What is more better? Like we just did, that monitor means under check, something is under check. So that means they mean the same, but we have to go with the better academic word. So check is a common word, like we say check my work. In that sense also we use the word check, but it will be monitor here. Monitor marketing performance and improve understanding of marketing as a process. Marketing research specifies the information required to address these issues, designs the method for collecting information, manages and implements the data collection process, analyzes the results, and communicates the findings and their dash. So findings and their means something of the findings. So findings are plural. So obviously the implications means what do we get out of, the conclusions will also be plural. So communicates the findings and their implications. Implication means results or conclusions, or what do we come after, what do we take out of that. Need plural again because they're going in plural. Analyze the results, communicates the findings and their implications. So Borson, are you happy with this emoji? This emoji tells that you are happy. Is it? Any questions, anyone in this particular one? Very good. All right, question number 6. We are doing more on reading blanks today because we did not do them yesterday, and last week also we were just doing 4. So 2.5 minutes for this. Why not finding on the second one? Finding on the second one. Marketing finding and problems. The problems is plural. We also need a plural answer akshay there because dash and dash. So if you have a word plural, the other one will also be plural. Right? Okay, 6th question, 2.5 minutes. some of you wrote arrangement. We're talking about people living in a city. That won't be an arrangement, that would be a settlement. The word was used though in the end of the passage. That could be a hint, but otherwise also we are talking about people living in a city. That is not an arrangement, that is a settlement. In the Middle Bronze Age, the city of Tall el Hammam was ascendant, located on high ground in the southern Jordan Valley, northeast of the Dead Sea. The Dash in its time had become the largest continuously occupied Bronze Age city in this place. That means people were living there. So it will be a settlement. In the southern Levant, having hosted early civilization for dash thousand years. So how many thousand years basically? And what we have is something that can go with numbers, is only a few here. Civilization for a few thousand years. At that time, it was 10 times larger than this place and 5 times larger than that place. A favorite site for archaeologists and biblical scholars, the mound hosts evidence of culture all the way from this age, all compacted dash layers as the highly strategic settlement was. So all of these things were compacted. Compacted is like compressed. So we use compressed or compacted with into layers as the highly strategic settlement was built, destroyed, and dash over millennia. So built, destroyed, and restarted. Something that is built cannot start. Obviously, it would be buildings. So built, destroyed, and rebuilt over millennia. Fine. Any questions, anyone? All good with this one? Okay, the next question. Take less than 2.5 minutes, okay? Try that you're finishing it before 2.5 minutes. Put your answers. It's enough time. These are the exam questions that I've picked up for reading today. Specifically selected because they had something new, which I thought some of you might not know. What is risers? Risers means what? Risers, is it a word for human being even? I didn't even check. Riser. Like I am an early riser. In that sense, I know the word. Yeah. Riser. Is there any other meaning? Uh, mm, 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 no, that's the only meaning. So what meaning does it make here? Early riser or late riser? Okay, let's look at the answers. The firefly's almost magical light has dashed human attention for generations. So with has, it should be V3. What we have in V3 is attracted and revolved and threaded. So out of this, what can go with human attention? Obviously, they have attracted attention, not revolved or threaded, which can go with attention. It is described in an ancient Chinese encyclopedia written over 2000 years ago by a dash of Confucius. A dash. And here also I can see somebody writing risers. Can we write plural noun with a? Not possible, right? By a dash of, can you see C capital here? It's a proper noun, name of a person. So it is described or it is written in encyclopedia. Okay, something which is written in an encyclopedia. Who will write it? Medicine can write it. Pupil of Confucius. Pupil means student of this person wrote it in encyclopedia. Fireflies often featured in Japanese and Arabian folk dash. This is an important learning. Folk medicine is a term. I thought many of you might not be knowing this. Folk medicine is a term which basically the exact definition says that folk medicine is a term that is knowledge, skills, and practices based on the theories or beliefs and experiences of different cultures. That is folk medicine. Okay, so note it down because this kind of context generally comes in the exam and we just eliminate medicine thinking about the general meaning of that, but folk medicine is a term. Right, so medicine will be third. All over the world, they have been the inspiration for countless poems, paintings, and stories. In Britain, for example, now you said there were so many poems, paintings, and stories, and you're giving the example of that thing only means. So, for example, in Britain, there are plenty of dash describing how glowworms have been used. So, here it will be plenty of anecdotes. Anecdotes means stories. So you told about their poems, there are stories, there are paintings, and now you give example of one particular country where you have lots of stories about this particular thing. Here I could see people writing travelers. You said poems and stories, and the example you're giving is of people. Does it match? Example is always of what you just explained. So we explained about poems, paintings, and stories. So example will also be of those things. So anecdotes is kind of stories. There are plenty of anecdotes describing how glowworms have been used to read by or used as emergency bicycle lamps when a cyclist's batteries have failed without warning. Early Dash in the New World came back with similar stories. So here it was people, because came back means travelers in the New World came back with similar stories on how the native people of Central America would collect a type of click beetle and release them indoors to light up their huts. Girls dashed them around their feet to illuminate the forest paths at night. So, girls, it's past tense going on, right? So, it will be girls threaded, means tied. So, in place of tied, they have given the word threaded. Okay. I hope it was useful. You've learned something from this question. Any questions, any doubts, anyone, any confusions in here? Third one, folk medicine is a term. Folk medicine is when you talk about experiences, what exactly it was. Experiences, knowledge, skills, practices, and theories based on some culture. So it generally is used when you talk about culture thing. Medicine is a word generally there, and there we don't realize they're talking about experiences, knowledge, and beliefs of a culture, which is termed as folk medicine. Okay. Number fifth, early dash in the new world came back with stories. So who can come back with stories? People will come back, like people who used to travel different places. They also came back with stories. Like they used to tell that I went to that place and there people tied glowworms to their feet when they go to when they go to forests. So they also came back that yes, glowworms are used in these ways also, right? Sixth one is threaded. Threaded means like T-I-E-D, tied, like you tie something. That is, they are using the word threaded in that case. Fifth, where do we have a in fifth? So first one is this, second is this, third this, four this, five this, and six this. Type I already filled now with a because there was no option given for that. So I filled it already. Okay. And the last question for today. I was working something on reorder, so we are not doing that. We'll share it with you soon if it works out. Sixth question, and we will wind up. So major focus was on getting the exam questions of reading. So I tried to gather all the exam questions of last week in that came in the reading exam to give you an idea that how do you have to think. Like I always say, my purpose of conducting these classes is never to give you answers, never to like what is right, what is wrong. It's about what is the current thing, what do you have to think, how do you have to approach, what are the different ways, types of questions that come in the exam, so that you are prepared when you go, that I have to think like this, I have to think like that, right? The last one for today, and we will be doing something on reorders soon like this. 2 minutes. Not looking, look. Looking will be an action doing at the moment. Science blogs serve a dual purpose. First, they connect scientists to each other, dash as modern day intellectual salons. So, as goes with serving as means those blogs, they first connect scientists to each other, serving as. So, the way they connect scientists, they serve as modern day intellectual salons. Even dash scientific papers are now beginning to. So even scientific papers, which kind of anything that can describe or tell us a type, so it will be even world scientific papers, are now beginning to dash blogs as reference. So always with as reference, we cite something as reference. The word cite goes with. It generally means gives as or use as reference, but the right word is cite as reference. You must have used it in your university assignments that cite the correct references. They use it with reference. Second, they connect scientists to the general dash. So to the means we need a noun, something that goes with general public. Offering a behind the scenes dash at how science progresses. Offering a behind the scenes look means when scientists connect to general public, they get to know that how people are using science in their daily life. So that's a behind the scenes, what basically is progressing in science. That's behind the scenes look. Looking would be an action moment. The looking is like you are doing it at the moment. So offering a means when they connect with general public, this gives them an idea of how science is progressing. What is ing is used there? So ing would be like at that moment that thing is happening. That is ing. Event, offering a behind the scenes event. So when scientists connect to people, general public, is there any event that takes place? Event is like a formal arrangement. That is an event. Yes, world scientific papers means scientific papers at the world level would be called world scientific papers. All right. Yeah, like journals. Anything else, anyone in this question? All good with this one? Okay, so as I said, we will be doing something on reorders tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'll try to do it by tomorrow if it finishes. But that's all for today. So as I said, this was more focus on reading blanks because generally we spend more time on reading writing. So that's why we spent a little more time on reading blanks, because some of the students were texting that they're good with reading writing now, but they need some more information or more practice on reading blanks. So we did that today. Okay, so anything you have to talk about, you have to share, you can put in the chat box now. Those who do not have anything to talk about, yes, you can leave, and I will see you tomorrow at same time, 6:30 p.m. No worries, you're welcome. Good night. Take care, all of you. Bye-bye. Yes. So you can call me, Urvi, after the like maybe in 10 minutes something. Which test, Tejal? Like your actual exam? So in 2 hours. Is it your first test, Tejal? You're welcome, Kalpana. So the first will generally take 5 days. 3 to 5 days. Yeah, 5 days. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. There's no new SWT strategy. Who told you this? The one that we are using, the one with furthermore, moreover, and is the only one that we use. Really? I don't think so. Why? What is the confusion in SWT? Okay, those who are going first, good night, take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.